Hi bobbers, and welcome to this week's YouTube vlog. And I hope we're all okay. Thanks everyone as always that subscribed last week. Absolutely excellent comments. And there was a mention about a book by Boilers to Bathrooms, I think it was, which I've looked into, which is also excellent to do wiring diagrams as well. Thanks for that. Can't think we've quite said that now, but thanks very much for that too. And also, as always, for the people that subscribe. As I've said every single time, and I keep saying it, without you guys we wouldn't do it. Moving on to this week's vlog. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while now, because we've been asked a few times as well by people, and that is we're going to install a HRM WALLSTAR. Now, people get a bit nervous about these because they go through the wall, some of the models, which is the one we're going to change today, and they're just generally worried about it because obviously you're taking a boiler out and in, and there's a big hole in the wall. But essentially it's absolutely fine. The reason we love them so much, they're literally so easy to do. And that's it. For example, if you've got a 20-year-old plus WALLSTAR boiler, because generally they last absolutely forever, to be honest, all you have to do is measure the case inside, either ring your supplier up, or manufacturers will always help you, and they'll tell you what it is. And essentially the ones through the walls, there's 4 models. You've got the WALLSTAR 1, 2 and 3, which are the different outputs, and then you have the combi. That literally is as simple as it is. They do other ones in the range. They do a totally external that hangs on the wall outside, which, to be honest, unless I'm doing a swap, that is actually my favourite. And then they do a wall floor mounted version as well, which, I'll be honest, looks fantastic, but I've actually never fitted one, so I'll look into that. Preferences of boilers. If I'm going to fit a wall mounted boiler as a rule, I would always choose a WALLSTAR, okay, because they are great, easy to install. The guys at the factory, if you ever have an issue, which is a very rare occasion, are like bang, straight on it. Simon and the crew, great. They're also a family run business as well, and we are also a family run business, so we absolutely love that as well. So yeah, they are absolutely great guys. Wall mounted, I'd go WALLSTAR every day of the week. If it's a through the wall job and they want to have a easy quick fix to the situation, if their boiler goes, again a WALLSTAR. But floor mounted, as we all know, I go Sapphire every day of the week. We do install Grants and other stuff, but yeah, that's if people ask us to do it. So I'm going to show you the boiler. It's very straightforward. Normally, if it goes okay and the system bleeds and vents and it all runs okay, we can knock these out easily in a couple of hours. They're that simple to do, unless they're in a cupboard or an awkward place. The water jackets are fairly heavy, not too bad. If it's a good height, I do it myself. If it's not such a good height, and I do recommend this anyway, it's a 2-person lift. But they're quite a light boiler. So the one I'm doing today is a WALLSTAR 1. It's 84 kilo, I think off the top of my head, 83, 84 kilo. And even the bigger models are only like 90 kilo. So they're not a heavy boiler either. They are basically fantastic. I'm going to stop going on about it. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to go to the job. And basically, I'll see you in a minute. Let's get on with the vlog. Okay, so we're here. Well, we've been here a while, to be honest. So here's the WALLSTAR, the old one. I've taken the cover off, which is dead simple to do. You just have a grub screw there and there. You just back them off a little bit, lift, and the white casing comes off. That I'll show you in a minute. And as you can see, this one's been poured out. Went over the electrics and bang, has gone on the floor as well. Made quite a mess, look. Okay, so we've drained it, but also I've cut the pipes, because at the moment, the way the pipes were, they were sort of like all over the place and up the walls and stuff like that, so we're going to neaten that up a little bit. We've done the S-plan upstairs, a conversion for that, and we've sealed the system upstairs as well. I didn't show this in the vlog because, like I said, this is all about the fitting of the boiler, and you've seen me do S-plans and that before. On these boilers, on the jacket, on the right hand side is the flow, and on the left hand side is the return. If you're ever unsure, the side of the pockets for the thermostat clearly is on the flow side, so you know it's dead easy to do. Alright, so that's where we're at on the inside. The drain cord's down there, that's where we're draining. We'll be stripping that out in a minute. And I'm just going to take it to the other side. And that's the white casing that comes with the boiler, like so. And that's what I said to you, just undo the grub screws like I said to you a minute ago, lift it and take it off. Right, I'm just going to pop round to the back of the house, and there we have the outside of the boiler here. Like so. So someone stripped it out before. We've never been here before, as you can see. It's all sort of like, yeah, it's all broken, all wet inside here. The flue come attached all rotted out. We've never ever been there before. The reason I think this has done this is, if I'm brutally honest, probably never been serviced properly. That's probably the reason, because I've never seen that happen on a WALLSTAR, that flue fall off like that. So yeah, bodgy servicing, I would say. I'm going to change the filter down there. I'm going to change the far valve there as well, make them a bit neater and tidier. And because it discharges less than 2 meters in height, I'll put the proper WALLSTAR terminal guard on, not that. That's not what you put on, but there we go. All right, so yeah, let's start stripping out. It is 3:10. Let's see how long this takes. Okay, so it's all drained, as I said. If you look there, there's sort of 2 nuts up there. One is there and one's up there, and we're going to undo them 2 little nuts. They're 10 mils, and then that allows us to take this section here out of the way, and that's what we'll be doing next. So I've done them, and that means you can now turn it over. And as you can see, you've got your live, neutral, earth and permanent live there. Best thing to do is to take a photo of that, and then you can obviously sort it out the other end and put the wires back in the same place. However, on this occasion, they've made a small error, and if you look, there's no permanent live. So it basically means the thermostat would never have worked. Actually, as I'm talking to you, there it is, it fell out. Right, so I'm going to get them undone anyway, and then I'll get the rest stripped out. Right, so we've come outside, and obviously all we're going to do is take the burner out, which obviously I do every day of the blooming week. We've taken the screw right here and this one here. It doesn't move, it's solid. It's totally rotten in. I think this boiler hasn't been serviced in many, many years, and I think the customer's not confessing to it. But there we go. So now we're going to have to try and smash the burner out to allow us to undo the rest of these, which are obviously already seized up as well, to then get the front off to allow us to undo the 3 bolts on the back to get the water jacket off. So yeah, very frustrating, but there we go. Here we go. One there, one there. So what I'm going to do, there's the blast tube on the back held on by basically a couple of glove screws. So I'm going to try and force it off and leave the blast tube behind, as you can see, exactly as I said. And there's the blast tube there. That is an absolute mess. I'm just going to disconnect the oil line now, which I had cracked off a minute ago. I've turned the oil off as well. Like so. Go, and that's the burner out of the way. Okay, so looking in here, gonna get through there, Lee. Look at all that in there. I'll grab it off you, Lee. That's the build up inside. That's how rotten it is. So this has never been serviced, I don't reckon, or for many, many years. As you can see, that is totally corroded through. That's exactly why you can't get that burner out of there. Coupled with that, coupled with them, ladies and gentlemen, we can see why the boiler went wrong. Right, so burner's out now. As you can see, it's totally corroded around here. That was the customer there. I thought it was going to get eaten by a dog, only joking. Right, so as you can see, it's all corroded around there. So very, very clearly, that ain't been out for years. So now we've got to try and get this panel out next. That's the next part of the boiler. As you can see, it's very corroded here as well. We're just going to try and attempt to move them. And I don't think that's going to happen. So again, I think we're going to end up, these are going to end up snapping. It doesn't matter. No, that one's not moving. Oh, that one's moving, but it's bringing all the combustion chamber with it. I haven't seen one ever this bad. So basically, there's a hole in there now. Can you see that, Lee? Something that's coming through there. So what we've managed to do, we've managed to get them 2 undone, and these we've had to shatter. I've just used a bit in an STS drill, like so. There you go. Right. It's the only way I can make them go, really, to be honest. Okay, so now what we're going to try and do is we're going to attempt to get the front off. I'm going to hook in. So this doesn't normally happen, but it makes it a bit more exciting, to be honest. So I'm just going to come around here, get under here if we can. Right. Let's have a little look. There's no way that boiler has been serviced. Look at the state of that. That's why it's all corroded through there. it's not leaking from the inside the boiler, it's leaking on the outside of the water jacket, so that's just lack of servicing and stuff like that. Coupled with the fact it's been left like this for a few months now, I don't think that's helped. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're actually going to clean that with a hoover. We're going to get a hoover out before we actually undo it and drop it inside. There's a seal around there, or there was a seal around there. That's the bit that we're going to release inside and drop back by undoing the bolts inside. Let's go on. Okay, so we've cleaned it to make it easier. Maybe it has been serviced, maybe it had been leaking from inside, because actually we've now found water, which is unusual because normally they leak on the other side of the jacket. Sometimes we can be wrong here. It may just be down to the fact that there was water in there, but it just seems a bit strange that everything's broken like it has and it hasn't gone bang a bit sooner. Anyway, let's get on with the install. So as you can see, even these are corroded at the bottom as well. So there's 3 nuts that undo the water jacket. So I'm having to get some heat on them. I've managed to get that one undone, but this one won't move at the minute. The heat worked on there. I didn't need any heat on the one at the top. So I'm just going to try and undo this one now. This thing is totally corroded, an absolute nightmare. Right, let's have a go. Obviously I can't even get a socket on it either, which doesn't help. No, a bit more heat for that. So I've managed to get them undone now. Okay, they were sort of undone halfway. Quite a bit of heat on that left one. We've just loosened that one off there as well now. It now means that the water jacket is loose. We're going to take the top nut off, we're going to flick it back, lift the jacket off, and we'll be back. Okay, it's out. It's on the floor. Look at that. Had it. Right, so where we go next? Say hello, Lee. Hello. There you go. So we're left with this hole. Normally, it doesn't really make a mess like that, but it is today. We've got a series of cross heads there, which Lee's going to undo, and then I'm going to pop around the other side. Before he can pull that out, I need to undo that there, pull that trim off that's around there, take the oil line out, and then just make sure there's a gap there, and then I will be sliding this out, and then Lee will be sliding his bit the other way, and it's job done. Right, this is all now free. Okay, and it's ready to go back in. However, there's loads of insulation in the wall and it's quite a windy day, so what we're going to do is we're going to strip the new boiler out, get it all out here, and then basically we're going to pull that out and push the new one straight in again, and then hopefully we won't lose too much. Let's get the boiler unpacked. Okay, here's the new one. What's in the box? Right, let's do it that. Come really well packaged, these do, the old WALLSTARs. Cardboard off, straight up. And be very careful. They're very clever. It will all stay behind. There we go. The serial number is written on the box, but it's also everywhere else in the instructions, etc. And it specifically says, please flush the system. We're doing that tomorrow. Also, what's really good about the WALLSTAR, comes with fuel filter and comes with a magnetic filter. We're not going to use that magnetic filter. We don't think there's anything wrong with them, but we just like the Fernox ones, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to just lift the cover off first. And they're put together so well, which is brilliant. Right, okay, nice and gentle. I'm going to put that out of the way. Next section here, take off. There's basically your front lid here. And as well as your front lid, this is the bit that now will slide in from outside and goes in. And next, we've got, this is what I showed you earlier. This has got all, like, I'm not going to undo it yet. It's got the thermostats in it, all the wiring controls in it, etc, etc. So we're just going to move it out of the way. It's really well packaged as well, so obviously it can't get damaged. And now we're moving on a little bit. What is great here is the fact that, well, it's 16 kilowatts, we know. When you look, everything, they've put the serial number on, you can't beat it. It's so easy to fill in from the warranty point of view. Even comes with its own envelope to put it in the post box with a, paid for by them, which is really good. Magnetic filter, these are okay, we used them quite a few times before. But as I say, we're going to use a Fernox one that I'll show you, so I'll keep that and use somewhere else another day. Also in here is your filter. I'll just undo this. Get one with every boiler, which is really good. We've already made in fittings, so they're excellent. So sometimes we fit them, sometimes we keep them for a rainy day for something else, sometimes we put our own in, so I'll decide a bit later. What I love about the WALLSTAR, it even comes with its own fitting kit. I'm just going to get in there gently. There you go. And they're brilliant. They're just literally drill a hole, push them in, do them up. Simple as that. They're absolutely great. Comes with all the nuts and all that. Comes with absolutely everything. So yeah, That's something else that's really good about them. So we'll put that there gently. The next bit to take off is the outer trim. Okay, the next bit is here, the outer cover here. I've just pulled off where the condenser hose goes onto the flue, and we're just going to lift that off now. Should come off quite successfully. There we go. This is what goes inside the house. So as you're looking inside the house, that's what we're going to push through the wall, that part there. Then it leaves the burner, and then obviously the combustion chamber. As you know, on the other one, this combustion chamber lid was just in bits, and then obviously there's the main jacket there that's still attached to a pallet by there, and obviously has its corners to hold it in place, which is absolutely great. So we're going to leave this now, and we're going to get on with that lot over there first. Okay, so there we go. That's the old one out. 100 bits. What I've done is, because the new one comes in 2 separate parts, as Lee slid that part out from the outside, I pushed the outside trim in, so then it allowed it for none of the stuff to fall out the cavity. So we're now going to put the new one inside. We're going to square it up and fix it, and then we'll go from there. That's the new one in there. What I've done is, because you can do it one-handed as well, this part goes inside the outer bit. So the best way to do it is to, like I said, put the outside bit in first, then stick your finger in and hold that, and then get the outside edge and then put them against each other, and then it just lines up. So I'm going to put spirit level along the top here now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fixings to bang in. That would be nice and firm, and then we'll go around to the other side. But what I'll probably do, to be honest, is get Lee to do this while I crack on the other side. So Lee's just drilling the holes. He's got his yellow goggles on because he's very ear defenders, because he's very conscious of his ears, which is very good. That's how we should all be. Just putting the screw in now. Got a few more to go there. I'm going to pop outside and do my bit. There he is, through the hole. See, say hello, Lee. Hello. And there he is. He's done his bit and fixed it inside now. He got 7 out of the 8. One of them didn't fix very well, but the rest are in. He's just fiddling with that now. This outer trim I've put on. There's a little screw that goes through into a little hole on there, and then when you've done that, you push the outer part in, and it basically, this part here and this part here join. And then, because obviously different thickness walls, clearly you can have different amounts, and there is extensions for these and stuff like that. Pushed it against there, that's fine. And then if you look here, there is 1 hole, 2 hole here and 2 above, and then you've got these self-tapping, self-drilling screws, which are brilliant. They'll go in there. Voila, the main part of the bolt boiler is in, and then we're back to the other side to hang the water jacket. Where's he gone? Interesting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the new water jacket on, so that's out the way. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fixings there. It does come with all the nuts and the washers as well. However, we're not going to use the washers on the bottom to start with, because it makes your life 100 times harder. We are going to put the 2 bottom nuts on, and then that allows us to locate the water jacket in there. It then allows us to push the water jacket up into position. There's your 2 screws that we'll put the washers and nuts on, and once they're firmly in position, we'll be able to re-undo these, add the nuts, add the washers, and then put the nuts back on. That's what we're going to do. So we're now going to go out and strip the rest of the boiler down, and we'll be back. Here we go. We're going to pull the burner out. We're also going to take the combustion lid off as well. But I just want to bring your attention to this here, the flue. It's telescopic. You can lift it up and down. As you can see, I've just pulled it right out with the seal. There we go. Okay, so it's adjustable. I'll show you why that is later on. Okay, it's all to do with the lid. It comes with Allen keys as well, this boiler, which is brilliant. So we're just going to undo the main Allen key for the burner. I normally use a long T-bar, to be honest, it's on my van, but I thought I'd show you that you can do it with the stuff provided, and turn them out. Okay, not a bad bent-tone burner these, they're okay, BF1s, they're fine. As you can see, compared to the old one, we're now going to undo these, and this is how it should be. Much easier, these wing nuts. Nice and straightforward and easy. They come greased as well with, looks like copper grease, is very good. So number 3, number 4, lift, and we're off. That's how they should be after 1 year, 2, 3, 10 years, 20 years. They should be as easy as that, not like we got earlier. This is the condensing version, slightly different. You've got the flame goes in there, like that. It then obviously comes down through, then works its way through these, and then comes through and back on itself and out the flue. Simple as that. So I'm going to now remove these. The lighter the better, really. These are razor sharp, so please be careful. Let's cut the straps. And as simple as that, the water jacket just comes out. Just stand, he says, just stand on the pallet, and there it is. That's your water jacket. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stick some fixings in the top and the bottom, some fittings, and we're going to put a drain plug in the bottom. Now what normally happens on these boilers is you disconnect the pipes, lift them out of the way, slide the old jacket off, slide the new one, take all the guts out, slide it all back in, put it all back together, and then pop them on, and you transfer your fittings over, because that's normally how quick it is. The reason this is taking longer is because obviously we've realised we had to repipe a bit. We knew about the S-plan that we didn't show you, and sealing the system, because that's something we've done before. So yeah, it's taken a bit longer than normal, which is great, because in my intro I literally went, it's going to take us 2 hours. But yeah, here we go. So we're now going to put these fittings in. We'll be hanging the water jacket. Okay, this is Lee's first attempt at putting a water jacket on a WALLSTAR by himself. Here he goes. He's going for the lift. He's going to try and line the pegs up. Has he lined the pegs up? Yes, he has. And then he's going to push it in and he's going to line it up. Well done, Lee. There you go, look, see it's on. That is how easy it was. That took him 21 seconds to put that on there. Rather than him stress anymore, I think I better have him put the nuts on. Okay, well done, Lee. You've done that well. So what we're going to do now is we have to look at this side. Before he does it up tight, he's just putting the washers on the nuts. We have to make sure that that seal here goes all the way around evenly, and as you can see, it does. Okay, so he's now going to do the 413 mils up. He's not going to crunch them up, he's just going to nip them up. That's basically the jacket hung. He'll now pipe it, which is to say, normally you would just lift them off and put them on again, but we're going to have to repipe it. And then obviously I'm going to put all this side back together and do all the oil line, etc. Which again, 8 times out of 10, you just have to undo that and plonk it onto there, which is nice and easy. So there's a little bit more to do here. We'll take it, it's going well. It is now about 5:30, so yeah, that was a little bit longer than normal, and obviously you'd normally be filling it and getting ready to run it, but obviously we're quite a way away. Also here, the customer doesn't want us being here too late because they've got things to do, and also I've got 2 more jobs to do as well, so probably about another half an hour and we're going to have to abandon for tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. End of day 1. We have a WALLSTAR in, burner's back in. As you can see, it's not piped in yet, etc. You can see level. Yes, level. As I explained earlier in the vlog, we had to do an S-plan, put some valves in and bits and bobs and some pipe work and seal the system upstairs, which we decided not to show in this vlog. And I'll show you where Lee is at now. Here he is, bless him. You can see the boiler in this side. He's got the flow piped up along and down and onto the pump. Normally, yes, we know we need to turn the pump round or the head round. So normally them 2 pipes that you see on the right and the left go straight up as a rule and then through the ceiling and away they go. But we've had to do it slightly different this time because that's exactly how the old pipes work. We followed exactly the same as before with the flow and returns, which is exactly as the customer wanted them. Yeah, they want a funny angle before, so it's much better. It's been a strange one, this. It all started sort of okay. Yeah, it started absolutely fine when we was doing the S-plan side and all that, and obviously sealing the system, it was all good. But when we got to the boiler side that normally we do, flipping heck, I can change one of these boilers in 2 and a bit hours very easy. It hasn't been that case. It's been quite unusual. Everything's just been a fight all the way through. And we're just not, well, we think lack of servicing. We also think the fact that it had got water internally as well as externally, because obviously the inside of the boiler had water in it. The outside of the boiler, I managed to put my spanner straight through it. So it was leaking both sides. So it was just exceptionally rusty, and we had a fight with everything, right down to all the nuts. We had to heat all the nuts up just to get the water jacket off. We had to smash the combustion chamber lid off and stuff like that. It's just been a disastrous day from that point of view. But there we go, we're back in the morning. We'll do the last bit of piping and then we'll get it up and running and show you that side of it. For me, we're 12 hours on. For you, you're 5 seconds on. It's the next morning. Good morning. Okay, let's recap on yesterday. We went to a house. I told you at the beginning of the vlog we're going to bust that boiler out quite quickly, 2.5, 3 hours, and it didn't happen. Oh well, never mind. S-plan went in. It went in okay. We did have to find a valve. We found it in the floor, so that wasn't ideal. We sealed the system, that went well. It all went okay until we knew we had to repipe a bit of the boiler. That's fine, but yeah, obviously when we started to strip that boiler, that's when it started to go wrong. But hey, today's another day. We'll get it done today, no problem at all. So it's about 7:45 in the morning. I've just dropped off a heater for a wedding venue which I fixed last night, which is going to be vlogged at some point soon. Lee will be there now. He'll be piping up the return side of the system, because as I said, we have to do quite a bit of pipe work on that one. And then when I get there, I'm going to do the oil line, and then I've just got a tiny couple of bits to wire, that's all. And then we'll be firing them up, filling it and firing it, and hopefully it will run okay. And then we'll be power flushing it. I will connect on with Lee and leave him to do it while I go off and do some other jobs, etc. So that's where we're at. I'm not going to go on. I'll see you back at the job. Right, so we're back. I'm doing the filter here, this side, isolation valve, filter, then the fire valve, and then we're going to run it up to there. We're going to go find Lee. There he is. Say morning, Lee.
Good morning.
And would you like to explain to everyone what you're doing this morning?
Yes, I'm just finishing off piping in.
There you go, he's doing the return side now, look. So there's the mag on the floor. We can see the old Fernox mag. There we go. And look at that bit of pipe bending, look. God, he's getting better at it. Brilliant. Well done, mate. I'm in. So, isolation valve, filter. I say I'm not using the WALLSTAR one because I wanted to fix something on this occasion, but I'll use that somewhere else anyway. Normally I join them together with a nipple, but I didn't have one. I've put 2 compression fittings there. Clearly don't forget your inserts, and always leave enough pipe between there and there. Otherwise, if you don't, when you undo the nuts, you can't get onto the olive tape and paste them. Simple as that. The fire valve's the right way, 90 degree. One reason being is when the sun's on here in the summertime and it gets really, really hot, it can trip it if it's a 65. So I'm all in. I'm all here, I'm all connected. Lee's connected his side, he's just filling it, fingers crossed. So we've got a bar of pressure in now, and it's fine. However, don't say anything until Lee watches it. He forgot to put that on, so we got a bit wet. Anyway, yeah, so it's going really well at the moment. I'm just about to do a bit of wiring, and then we can fire it up. I've wired the assembly with all the thermostats in there. I've pushed the plug through for the burner through the hole. I've done it up and put the 10 mils on, etc. Exactly as you see at the beginning of the vlog, and we've fired the boiler. So it's now running nice. We're just getting the air out of the system now, and the heating is starting to warm up. The next step for us is to put the power flusher on. So the flush has been on with no inhibitor in or nothing at all for 10 minutes. And we thought we'd... So we're going to flush it quite a few times first before we even think about turning any rads off or inhibitor or anything. We've just put some heat into it as well now. We're starting to see. Look at the state of it. Gonna be a good one. Look at that. Gonna be a great one. Good smell, Lee? All good? All good. I'm back because I've been doing some jobs, and Lee's managed to get downstairs done. We're like 4 hours on now. He's now upstairs. The boiler's piping hot, lovely. But even though he's flushed it loads and loads and loads of times, I keep putting fresh water in, instead of that on the upstairs, it's absolutely filthy. At least it's not orange anymore, at least we've gone to black, so that's something. So look at there, look. That's going to be, you can see what the magnet's like. I'll just pop outside now. I'm going to be doing the condense, which is from there, basically into there. So I've done the condense down there, which is all lovely, so we're pleased with that. The boiler's been running for quite a few hours now. Lee has been power flushing. Have you done well, Lee, do we think?
I think so, I'm happy.
Very happy. I'm going to pass the phone to Lee. We're going to show you something. We're going to go over here, because I'm going to make you run after me, Lee. And here we go. That is why it didn't run very well. Yummy. There we go. All done. Just got to insulate some pipes up there. But there's your magnetic filter, there's your UPS-free pump, there with the valves. Obviously there's the boiler, set about halfway on the thermostat. It's been purring along, as I say, insulation there. That's drying out nicely. Lee's doing a final little, got his little Makita out, and he's doing a little tidy up, because as we know, you have to tidy up as you go when you do these jobs. And then outside, there we go. So we've got the condenser there, and obviously we've got the boiler here, all set up how it is supposed to be. So the manufacturer specification, as you can see on there, 12%. So it's all fine, it's absolutely permanent. We've got some really good figures off this. I didn't do this part of the oil line, if you wonder why the clicks are black. That was done by a company because the oil tank over there has been changed about a year or so ago. And that is the old oil line just there. So I'm just going to cut that away before I go. I'm just going to finish having a bit of a sweep out here. So there we go, that is it. I'm just going to put the cover on now. All's good. Anyone knows what's missing here? Yes, correct, the terminal guard, and it's at the office. So actually, I am done, but I'm sort of not. So I have to pop back tomorrow and stick that on. But there we go. But meantime, this will be edited before I've done it. Back to the van, as I say. Right, bobbers, that is this week's YouTube vlog done from us at Barton Allburner Services, and I hope you enjoyed it. So that was a life lesson for me there, which I've had many times before, and that is, don't say it's going to be easy and you're going to knock something out in a few hours, because it never happens. But on a serious note, normally, you have to believe me, you can fit a WALLSTAR, and if it vents properly, easily, in 3 hours max. They're that easy to do. But in this case, unfortunately, it is a bit harder. But overall, I really enjoyed that one, because sometimes it's just nice to have something that's a bit harder to do, and it's a bit more of a challenge. Feel free to subscribe. As always, we love people that subscribe, and obviously, yes, please, we know there's lots of people out there that watch us but don't actually subscribe, and it is free of charge. And also the comments, we love a comment. Please feel free to comment. It can be anything, suggestions what you want us to do another day, nice suggestions, right through to comments on the vlog you've just done and previous vlogs as well, because we love it. Have a great weekend, everyone. I think the sun's actually going to be out this weekend, which would be fantastic, because it's been a bit of a rubbish week, to be honest. But there we go. So until next time, stay safe.